First Newcastle against West Ham, and the point, of course, that West Ham got up there made absolutely sure that they stay in the First Division, as we'd predicted on the big match in those dark days of a few months ago. So, Newcastle against West Ham.
More now to Redknapp, and this game really burning. Redknapp, he's got Hurst on his left, he's got Moncur still to beat. He's beaten him, now the chance, and finished off beautifully by Jeff Hurst. And it's allowed. Appeals, I think, almost for offside, half-hearted appeals, but no doubt about that.
Redknapp. Robson. Lampard. Bobby Moore. Billy Bonds wanting one wide out on Moore's right. That's McDowell going ahead of him. McDowell in the move now. Again for Clyde Best head, and it's found it! George Best in again. Touched off his toe by Robson. Redknapp to bring some relief to West Ham. Moore to McDowell. Bonds. The ball to Brooking. Brooking has made a space, and he scored!
And it's just before West Ham come out, led as usual, of course, by their England skipper Bobby Moore, that the crowd hears of another new face. 17-year-old Adi Coker from Nigeria comes in at number 9 for West Ham because Jeff Hurst is injured. It's his first league game. And in goal, Peter Grotier gets his first game of the season because Bobby Ferguson is unwell.
Peter Wall looks already as though Wall is going to be deployed as a sweeper for Crystal Palace this afternoon. David Payne stopped again by Moore, but now Kellard and Goodwin to try a shot, and Grotier at the second goal. A fine flying save there by Grotier. Bobby Kellard right in that goal mouth there, the corner coming up, and Bonds going for it, and Coker, he scored. The young lad, 17, playing in his first game, 7 minutes gone, and a rocket-like shot that gave Jackson no chance. What a start for him, delighted. Robson nodding that nicely for Coker. Good bit of poison control there by the youngster, and now it's Brooking set free there by Robson. And there's Redknapp going in. What a terrible mistake there in the Palace defence as Jackson and McCormick looked at each other, and Redknapp very nearly nipped in for what could have been a second and killer goal. Bonds now letting one go, and again they looked and waited, and Robson was there very quickly. A nice little chip towards Billy Bonds, and he scored a second one. 2-0 Billy Bonds, and Crystal Palace defence was in ruins. Brooking again. Flicked again for Coker. McCormick with him. Oh, look at those beautiful skills there by Coker. My goodness, that was some tremendous stuff, and there was a bit of pulling there by McCormick. Robson now for West Ham. A bit of space there, but he took it away from it. But he's found Bonds. Taylor doggedly is trying to stay with Billy Bonds. Bonds a little cross, and Clyde Best the goal. Number 3, Clyde Best.
But what about this young 17-year-old Adi Coker from Nigeria? What a wonderful first appearance the young lad had. And after the game at Selhurst Park yesterday, I spoke to Jeff Hurst, who was kept out by injury, and asked him how the boy had reacted to the news that he was playing in the First Division.
He was told about 2 o'clock when the team was announced, because it was more or less a from, with Trevor and I not being certain. And he looks as if he'd seen a ghost, actually. He sat there in disbelief for about 10 minutes with his eyes wide open and aghast, really. It was rather funny.
The first thing that he really did in the match, of course, was score a goal.
Yeah, tremendous start to your league career, really, after about 3 or 4 minutes, wasn't it?
What did you think of his goal?
Very well. He's very, very quick, and he took the goal very quickly, of course. But it just bounced once, I think. I can't really remember much about it, but he took it very quickly in a crowded area.
And he's obviously got a lot of very good touches indeed.
Tremendous skill. He's very, very sharp.
Prospect.
Very, very sharp.
Hurst leaping well. Redknapp. Played on nicely for Bonds. What a good run by the number 4. And Robson! Oh, he's there! Off the post! Brian Robson! And 4.5 minutes gone! West Ham ahead! For Hurst. Oh, Robson in the clear. And a goal! Brian Robson, his second goal! Made for him by Jeff Hurst. And Robson absolutely delighted with it. Brooking. Oh, Best. And across there towards Bonds. No, it's gone in. And that must go to Clyde Best. Bonds was there to add the formality. Best. Beautiful control on his body and beating his man at the same time. And causing trouble and scoring. A mistake by Hope. And a great smile from Clyde Best. So West Ham with something like 3 minutes left now and 4 goals to the good. Looking a surefire certainty now for the semi-final draw. Brooking. Play there for Robson. Will this be his hat-trick? It is! Yes! Brian Robson, West Ham's 5th and his hat-trick. Bonds away. A lot of room now for Brian Robson to take on this Manchester United defence. Charlton was there after him, and a misunderstanding there between Hurst and Robson. And Gowling finds Morgan. Lampard. West Ham still having by far the better of it territorially, still not finding enough openings for their own liking. Hurst now finding Redknapp. Redknapp. Across that goal, no, can someone poke that? Robson, yes! Brian Robson has done it! He squirmed that through. A lot of credit to Harry Redknapp, though. There's a lot of pace and a lot of guile about West Ham now when they begin to come forward, using the wings so very well. And here's Brooking again with another cross in. Hurst. And Edwards putting it as far as Robson, who hits one! Dipping and dipping just over that bar. Tommy Taylor. And away, Hurst off in chase again versus Edwards. Edwards for the moment lost it. Hurst back to Clyde Best to hit one and a goal! There was a deflection, but it's a goal and it must go to Clyde Best. And Robson again. Lampard. Brooking. Again, that lovely dummy of his where he lets the ball run. But that's not such a good cross, and Burns, and Redknapp was in quickly, and Burns was a little slow, and he had to hurry into a clearance then. He felt that the ball must have come off Redknapp, but the referee, I think, has given it the other way. Yes, the throw to West Ham. It's with McDowell. And that really was a nothing. But was that handball? It was handball by Gowling, and it's going to be a penalty for West Ham. Gowling complaining, but the referee having none of it. And I wonder where Jeff Hurst will place this one, remembering how his penalty was saved. His penalty was saved by Banks the last time here. And now it's Hurst against Alex Stepney. And he made no mistake. 3-0 to West Ham. Jeff Hurst the penalty. And poor Alex Stepney from behind his goal there. Lampard again. And yet again, Brooking. Good play there by Brooking. Turned in towards Hurst. Oh, and a goal by Hurst. 1-0 to West Ham with under 2 minutes gone. Bonds. Redknapp. Again, he's got the beating of Alan Slough, Redknapp. But Slough still coming back at him. The ball still in play, only fractionally, but it was there. Hurst with a header, and now Best. Yes, Clyde Best. Harris. And now Knowles. McDowell. Pratt. Pearce. Knowles going down the left again, that willing overlapper. Moore beating Gilzine to it, but Peters for Tottenham. Collins. And Moore playing the ball, lifting his feet high there, but the referee thinking that it constituted no danger, and he played the ball. Brooking trying to send Collins one way, then the other. A curling one! Oh, wonderful goal! A lovely curling goal there by Trevor Brooking in the last minute of the game now. Chivers, Peters, Chivers to Pearce. West Ham coming back in strength now, determined not to give up this lead. Pearce. And now it'll fall for Brooking. 3 against 3 as Locke makes a great run down the left again. And Brooking spotted him. Coker in the middle. Yes! Eddie Coker! The 2 youngsters for West Ham. Locke, who made a brilliant run. Brooking, who found him. And Coker from a sharpest of sharp angles, who made it 2-0.
In fact, it was a game full of brilliant flashes of skill from both sides and some extraordinary mistakes throughout. And that's not surprising, I suppose, because of so many young players involved in the match. But Spurs must be kicking themselves for not taking the lead early or even equalising once West Ham had scored. They might have done it, but it was a splendid save from Peter Grotier which denied them the goal that maybe their football at that time had earned them. Let's have a look now. A lot of people thought that the ball had crossed the line. We'll examine it, but I want you to examine also Peter Grotier's reflexes there. He's going the wrong way, comes back to make a fine save with his left hand, and then has to get up off the floor and scamper for that ball. We stop it as the ball is not quite over the line, and then you can see the hand which comes up and scoops it away. But yesterday was a very pleasant day for football. It was a pleasant day also in a little bit of history that was made. 3 coloured players played for West Ham. Maybe a sign of what will happen in the future in this country. For the first time, 3 coloured players in the First Division. Just to record that, let's look at 3 flashes of skill from all of them. Clive Best, of course, has been in for some time now. Many, many goals. But it was Clive Charles, the fullback, who we see first. Number 3 there, and he's beaten for pace by Evans. But look at the tenacity and the speed, how he won't give in, and how he times the tackle there to end that dangerous situation. Clyde Best, of course, increasing in confidence all the while, plenty of goals to his credit, and as the ball steered in here from the right, look how he accelerates, takes it down and gets a shot in there, well saved by Jennings against 2 defenders. And lastly, Eddie Coker. Didn't have a brilliant game yesterday. I think he was, and there's on the left wing there's Locke, who came on as a substitute, streaking through, and Coker's having a tussle with Knowles, but this is right in the last minute of the game, and he makes his contribution there with a firm side foot. That was the 3rd coloured lad playing yesterday for West Ham. A really happy day for them.
Towards George Best, but McDowell very positive in the air there. Brooking turning it on for Billy Bonds with a chance to shoot one and a fraction wide. Moore taking it quickly. Bonds to Lampard. Moore in a position where he often likes to go forward and let one go, and he has, and a tremendous save by Stepney. Moore, who loves nothing better to be left in a position like that with a bit of space, and who really has a most powerful shot. Willie Morgan. Sadler. Oh, and he hustled that back, and Clyde Best might get a chance yet. Best, in fact, had he not turned his back on it, might well have had another chance. And Sadler was totally unaware that Best was in such a dangerous position. Turned on superbly for Robson, and a goal! Oh, a wonderful goal for West Ham! What a superb goal! Robson to Billy Bonds, and now McDowell. Best in the middle and Brooking too. Bonds to Tyler. Bonds again to Bobby Moore, and again Robson right in there, and Holland was almost there. In fact, he got a kick in the face. And now George Best. Bonds after him, and still George Best. All going, cutting one side of Lampard, sending him the wrong way, and still George Best. And it's still George Best with a shot that had Grotier down. And that really was the first piece of real George Best we've seen. Bobby Moore. Holland. Brooking. Bobby Moore. Best. Robson. And now Tyler. Brooking. Will he hit one now? No, the answer is that he won't. Taylor. Robson trying a 1-2, but it was so crowded in there. Billy Bonds trying to get it wide for Tyler, and Dunn quite content to turn it into touch. It's Tyler. West Ham, who've had so much more of the game, and the chances have come their way, but now for the second time find themselves behind. Robson hitting a goal! Oh, Robson! 2 goals in a little more than a minute, and Brian Robson makes it 2-2.
So even allowing for the few blemishes there, it really was a wonderful afternoon of attacking football, and a memorable afternoon for Brian Robson with those 2 goals. But after the game, I suggested to him that even so, West Ham was still not getting the points that perhaps their football deserved.
We played particularly well the last 3 games, and we've only got 1 point out of it. But you know, I don't think it's the right thing to change a pattern, you know, just because we're not getting points. I think the pattern is to try to play what we've been practicing, and let's hope it comes right.
Pop Robson's shooting yesterday had to be seen to be believed. Throughout the game, he never missed a target when he had a chance.
Keeping it in well.
Clyde Best lays it back to him here, and he picks it up. This is from the edge of the area, and he hits it quickly with his left foot. The speed with which he gets shots in is quite remarkable. Then there was the goal. Trevor Brooking played a big part in this, but you can see here that Robson had a touch first with his head, and then on Manchester United losing. He runs from the centre of the picture right to the left of the screen. There's a delicate chip. Look how quickly it's down. It's down and it's in the goal before Stepney can have a chance to move. He doesn't take any time to finish. As the ball's laid in here, it's a first-time shot, and he keeps it down. It's fizzing across the grass, making it difficult for Stepney to hold. In the second half, he shows his left foot skill again. Brooking lets it run through, and there's a hook shot right into Stepney's hands in the centre of the goal. He's not a bad header either. As Bobby Moore chips over, look at the spring and the power in that header, which brings out probably the best save there from Stepney. And finally, the goal. This was remarkable because he'd summed up the whole thing before the ball came over. It's laid back to McDowell, he crosses, and there's the hook shot. Robson knew exactly where that ball was meant to go and where eventually it did go. The supreme skill of a football striker.
And turned back in time by Goulding. Lampard winning it in the air, finding Bobby Moore. And Flynn cutting that one out, the one intended for Best. John Flynn. McDowell again for West Ham. Well, McDowell making very little of that, but he recovered well. And now Brooking turned off nicely for Moore. McDowell again. The little chip forward, he wanted Tyler to run for it. Curry. And now Bonds. And now Brooking. And now Tyler. Best again waiting in the middle for the header, and Robson was there too. Brooking is there, and Trevor Brooking. 1-0, 16 minutes. Robson. Tyler played first time and played brilliantly there for Brooking. Well, they talk about early balls and quickly played balls, and that was one played to perfection by this fellow, Dudley Tyler, into the path of Brooking. Now Tyler then with the corner for West Ham. Another low one again. Bonds getting right down there, and Robson turning it in. Brian Robson, the second goal. Moore. Best. Lampard. Holland. Lampard. Turned again towards Brooking and over the head of Hockey. And turned on by Robson. He hardly got a touch to it, but that touch was enough. Putting West Ham 3-0 up. McAllister well beaten.
So West Ham move up to 7th place, and after the match I spoke to skipper Bobby Moore and asked him how well he thought his team had played.
Well, naturally we were very pleased at half-time to be 3 goals in front, Brian, and naturally 2 points is very, very handy for us. We were delighted about that, but second half we was a little bit disappointed. I think the play became a little bit scrappy, and you know, everybody didn't lose interest but lost more confidence than anything. And as I say, you know, this is something that worried us a little bit, but I mean, still to win 3-1 is always a good thing.
Robson, good goal scoring record with 11 this season for West Ham. Moore, first time best, that was better. Now for Brooking with a shot, and Park's going down as Brooking just failed to get it properly. Frank Lampard. Taylor. Forward towards Clyde Best. And Best now with a chance for West Ham. Oh, and that was a fine save by Parks, but it's not away yet. And here comes McDowell steaming in. West Ham 0, Wolves 0. McCall putting another ball there towards John Richards. Richards nicely on his body and over his head. Really having to plunge to that post. Robson. Moore. Brooking to Robson. Played on nicely first time there for Holland. He's got Best in the middle and Tyler in the middle if he can cross it. Moore coming up as well. Here's Moore. McDowell. Brooking let it run and Tyler was behind him. Played now once more for Holland. And crossing it this time. Robson is there, but so too is Jefferson. McDowell letting one go! And a fine save again by Phil Parks from McDowell. Robson. Play on, says the referee. In fact, he changed his mind there, the referee. I had a quick look at him and he had the... well, that's incredible because he had a whistle in his mouth and now he's giving a Shaw a lecture. If he's got to give him a lecture, that's got to be a free kick. Lampard turning it in. And now Robson turning it back and a goal! But there was a deflection, so Wolves had none of the luck there. Wagstaff. McDowell. Holland. Best back for Lampard. A little over a minute to go now. Brooking. Played for Bobby Moore. Deep cross again there towards Holland. Turning it in there for Brooking. Great header by Trevor Brooking. Magnificent West Ham goal. Straight from one side of the field to the other.
What is the feature of that game yesterday? A lot of people like to think that footballers have not got much between their ears, and it's often been pointed out to me that that's so. But I saw a man yesterday who we've looked at before, Trevor Brooking. People sometimes say that football is mobile chess played at speed. If it is, and that's it at its best, the kind of player who can really produce that skill is Trevor Brooking. I want you to look now at just a few of the things that he did yesterday and the lessons that we can pick for them. Lessons from all young footballers. First of all, We show he's one of the few players that will pick a spot when he's shooting. Not many can think ahead, and this time perhaps it's to his disadvantage, because he steers that for the bottom left-hand corner and Parks has read it. But the feature now we should look at is that footballers play the game with their eyes to give their brain a chance to pick the right pass. There's his head up. Look at the head in the air as he's running with that ball. Once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. In the end, he chooses a short ball and it happens to be the right one. Relaxed skill there as he crosses the ball into exactly the right spot. Now look once more how he dummies to get into position, a lovely touch with his left foot there, and the head's going up again. This time he selects a long pass. But he's always aware of players' positions on the field, even if they're behind him. That means he's thinking at all times in the game. As this ball slipped through there, he said, why not leave it and let Tyler carry the move on from there? But his brain also enables him to put his body in the quick position to get a shot at goal. That was the chance in the end there that was made for John McDowell, and a fine shot that was too. Now we look at Brooking positioning himself quickly as the ball comes back here, and also his ability to choose the part of the goal with that volley that he thought he might win out with. He's only just 2 feet wide with that volley. But what about the goal that he scored late in the game? Bobby Moore makes the cross, but he's very aware when the ball is played back well into his path here from Young Holland that he can't beat the goalkeeper with power, but he can if he lobs it over his hands and into the far corner of the net. That's a footballer thinking before he plays the ball, and I must say it was a delight to see Trevor Brooking yesterday.
Moore to McDougall. Lock is behind him. Best and Robson on the far post. In goes Best. Yes! Robson again on the goal line. Tommy Taylor at the front of the goal area. Bonds coming towards it. Robson. Robson coming off the goal line. Gets the backhander to him.
Moore now for West Ham. Lampard doing a lot of good work down that left touch line. Now getting McDougall on his way. Robson is in the middle. If Robson can make that count, and a magnificent save! What a save again by Shilton. From Brian Robson. Now Robson beginning to buzz a little bit. Tyler. Cross again, this time to McDougall, and another magnificent save by Peter Shilton. England's number 1. Brooking takes another corner for West Ham. Bonds again, trying to get there, and nearly. Shilton again, equal to a magnificent header there by Billy Bonds. Bonds really went roaring in for that header and must be wondering, like the rest of the West Ham side, how on earth do you beat Peter Shilton? But here's Brooking now, or rather Robson now with a great chance, and that'll do! A terrible mix-up in the Leicester City defence, and Robson finally gets the ball in where Shilton had no chance. Such a wasteful one. And now Brooking trying to curl one against the crossbar. Even Shilton has to applaud that Trevor Brooking there sized up that situation so well. Curled one past defenders, wide of Shilton, and just clipping the crossbar. What a ball to Bobby Moore. West Ham really powering forward now. Robson looking for room to make the shot. Oh, and what a save! Such an economy of effort there from Brian Robson. But what a tremendous save again by Peter Shilton. He looked as though he'd left it too late, and his timing in the end was perfect. Best versus Booth. Looked as though Best was being wrestled by Booth. Free kick, not taken from the right place, at least Bonds was brought back so that it could be taken from the right place. Moore flicking it forward again, and Billy Bonds had got him, and Bobby Gould, furious with himself, but he made enormous strides there. As skillful
skillfully taken free kick there by Bobby Moore. Lampard for West Ham. To Bonds. McDowell. Getting the cross in, but behind his strikers. But there's Patton coming through. Now Gould hoping to get in, and a good save there by McRae. Now can West Ham pull back that 1-goal deficit in the last minute of the first half? Best. Played for Lampard. Forward now for Brooking. Is this the chance? And it is! Trevor Brooking! 1-1. Gould, nice lay off again for Patton, and Patton has gone past Pardo. That's the cross, and it's a good looking cross, and it's an own goal by Doyle. Well, it was Patton's brilliant work down the left, and Patton took it beautifully in his stride, overcame the cross, and Mike Doyle, who's been probably the best defender for City, then turns it into his own net to put West Ham into the lead. The wind will help the ball into that goal mouth, curling it in once more, but Booth, who gave it away, gets it back, and the header away by Donaghy from Frank Lampard. Patton again, crossed in once more, Billy Bonds going in there, but again it was Booth who got it away. Now, oh, and Bobby Gould almost made it as well. Pat Hull, Best. Now Bonds again, surging forward to Lutton. Back for Bonds once more. 2 tackles there from Manchester United going in on Billy Bonds, and will it be a throw or will it be a free kick? Whatever it is, it's to West Ham, it's a free kick. Coleman with the free kick for West Ham. Hit lower this time. Lutton, a chance to chest it down across the goal. There was a deflection there too. And certainly the chances in this opening 5 minutes or so have gone Bertie Lutton's way. 1 or 2 little moments when the goal has opened up before him. Billy Bonds doing the work for 2 men there, and Graham going hard at him, but Bonds beating him off and beating Willie Morgan off and beating Young off as well, and then finding Coleman on the right. Now it's with Patton. Lutton won't get to that one. Well, perhaps Coleman will, trying to turn it through. And there were certainly plenty of West Ham men up there. It just needed a touch. Good long throw there by Patton. Holton was really stretching for that one. Best jumping well for it. Billy Bonds. Oh, a goal by Bonds, and a beauty. What a superbly struck shot by Billy Bonds. As Best won it in the air, it came down for Bonds. Bang. And you've got to say that so often there seems to be no justice in football. Macari. Oh, he turned inside Coleman beautifully there, Macari. And he's got Kidd waiting in the middle. Still with Macari. Back over his own head, and Day has got to come for it. Fought it well. Taylor's gone up. With McElroy going back. The crowd are giving West Ham all they can. Bonds tries to get it. There's a header there. Yes! The goal is given, and it goes to Pat Holland. West Ham in the lead again. With 7 minutes to go. The corner came over. Holland made the contact, and Best, who was on the goal line, ducked and put off everybody.
Yes, what a finish it was. The West Ham manager, Ron Greenwood, said afterwards it really was a triumph for West Ham spirit. I'm not at all sure that he was entirely happy with the technical aspect of that game, but it really was a bit of a cliffhanger, hanger, Malcolm Addison.
Yes, I thought that it was a really entertaining game. You know, I mean, I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure that everybody there enjoyed it. It was a very difficult place, very difficult pitch to play on. You know, it was very lumpy and bumpy, and probably never suited West Ham. But they battled away, and I thought that Billy Bonds was really tremendous yesterday.
Isn't the sort of spirit of Billy Bonds, is that infectious? Would that run right through the West Ham side yesterday, do you think?
Well, the way he played yesterday, it had to. And this does definitely. I mean, when you get a player play like he did, you know, where he's determined. Here he is now. You see him in the middle of the park. You watch it where he picks up and he really runs at the United defence, lays the ball out to the left-hand side there. And you see him get it back here again, look up again, then play another ball with his right foot. Very accurate ball in the box. And then this ball's knocked away again, and you see him up in the air competing again. He's had the ball 3 times in about 5 seconds. There's a situation here developing where the ball will be crossed into the box, and you'll see the excellent marking of Billy Bonds. There. Now, he's in the 6-yard box and he's within a foot of ground. That's what they call marking. That's good marking. There's a throw in here, Padden. You see Padden pointing to Morgan. Morgan turns away to the referee, and Padden takes the throw. You see Holton here get up and knock the ball away. Doesn't really get it away. Knocks it up fairly high, and you see Best challenge for it. And there's Bonds again, number 4, waiting, and he really hits this with his left foot. But you see Houston turn his back, and you see Holton turn their backs on that ball, but it goes in the bottom corner of the net. That was a bad defensive play by Manchester United. Look at that enthusiasm those West Ham players around Billy Bonds.
West Ham now enjoying a really good run under their new skipper Billy Bonds, and it's Billy leading his men out, both sides knowing that a win today could just about make sure of First Division survival. To this end, West Ham are happy to announce in their side that it includes once again that familiar favourite Brian Robson. 5 reserve games leading to this return, and while he's been away, so much credit to men like Mick McGivern, now a firm favourite at Upton Park. Not easy when you wear Bobby Moore's old shirt. Billy Bonds, a really inspirational skipper in Bobby's place. Reflecting West Ham's recent run, good to see it. Manager Ron Greenwood named as Bell's Manager of the Month, with something really to celebrate as well. That's followed by one of the most emotional moments of the day when Bobby Moore, now of Fulham, came to say goodbye some 15.5 years since making his first appearance for West Ham.
Now Robson, Taylor. Padden, Lampard's gone beyond him. Acting again as a decoy, but the pass going straight to Dugdale. Padden will try again. Nice little reverse pass there. Good skill by Padden. And Padden there again for West Ham. Here's the cross, and Robson, oh, and what a save! What a save by Glazier! Longer throw that time, lower trajectory. Now will that come through? No, is it a penalty? Yes! The penalty there to West Ham, given against Will Smith for handball. And so here's the golden chance for West Ham to get the equaliser. Harry New directly facing that situation, having no doubt at all that that was handball by the number 2 Will Smith. And Billy Bonds, a vital penalty to get West Ham back into this game. Billy Bonds against Bill Glazier, and he's got it, sending Glazier the wrong way. An excellent penalty there, well taken by Billy Bonds. Now it's with Hutchison. Coleman in with great determination. Now Best is chasing after it, getting there before John Craven. Holland. Here's the cross again, but only Robson is in there. Nodded away for Billy Bonds. Oh, what a goal! Billy Bonds has done it again! What a tremendous goal by Billy Bonds!
It was good to see Brian Robson back again.
Well, Brian came back through circumstances, and this is what football's all about. Circumstances dictate sometimes when people come back into the side. Unfortunately, Johnny McDowell got injured on Wednesday, so Brian had to come back in, and he really gave us some vintage Robson action. And I'm sure if we look here, Graham Padden knocks the ball off to Trevor Booking, gets the return ball back from Trevor, knocks the ball into space, and who's there running an attacking ball at Brian, and Glazier makes a great reaction, a left-handed save. Brian, you see, isn't a player that's jumping high to get the ball. He's always attacking the ball glancing. Here again from Coleman near the end of the game, and he attacks it again just on the edge of the box and glances it wide of that post. He's a player that's running in anticipation, great sense of anticipation, and attacking the ball and glancing it with great power, and this really is a skill that Brian Robson is streets ahead of anybody else in football.
Dow with the throw. And now Clyde Best. Brooking. Across by here, Billy Bonds is in there! Oh, what a piece of work there by Bonds, and it had to be pushed away by John Jackson. George Petchey, the Orient manager, who's done so much to make Orient such a well-organised side, breathing with relief, I would think there, that his goalkeeper somehow managed to get a hand to that ball. I would think he probably pushed it against the post before it went behind. Good header by Billy Bonds, and here's the corner. And there's Bonds! And this time he's got it in! From Graham Paddon's corner, Billy Bonds, who came so close with the header that produced the corner, as that corner came over from Paddon, there's Billy Bonds just tucking it in, coming from nowhere. And that's 1-0 to West Ham. Paddon to Lampard. Robson, all played on nicely by Robson for Brooking, who's got Gould away on the right. Using their wings well, West Ham. Bobby Gould with a shot, and Robson! Oh, what a goal! Keith Robson! A beautiful goal! Jennings. Oh, and look how Brooking has escaped them all, with Gould in the middle. And it's there! It's an own goal off Bohm, but it's number 2. And Brooking, with a smile all over his face, takes the credit. He slipped the ball, turned it inside, and the deflection took it past Jim Platt into the back of the net, 2-0. Bonds for West Ham, and now Lampard. Bonds again, challenged from behind and unfairly by John Hickton. Taylor is up there, looks as though he might have a crack at it. Billy Bonds is in there, Graham Paddon is in there, and Lampard is in there. They're really queuing up behind this West Ham free kick. I would fancy Paddon. Oh, what a goal! Graham Paddon, number 3, with 2 goals in a matter of 3 minutes.
When I was talking to the West Ham lads yesterday, they were saying that aggression is one of your key factors. In fact, some of them said that you train on raw meat. That can't be right, okay?
No, that's not right. Nah.
But tell me about this aggression.
Well, every game I played last year, you know, everybody used to be kicking me, so I just like started to get stuck in a bit. And when I first come down here, the players down here like were a bit timid, I thought.
A bit timid?
And first match I played, I says I'll make a big impression, like. So I did. And then ever since, like, all the lads has really started to G up a bit now.
One of the new stars in the West Ham side is Kevin Locke, the man wearing the number 6 shirt worn for so long by Bobby Moore. Has that been a problem for Kevin?
I think it has been a problem because a lot of people have compared me with Bobby, you know, and I think it's put a lot of pressure on me. But I think I'm starting to have it for my own right now, you know. I've improved as it's gone along, you know, and I think John Lyle's got a lot to do with this because in training, you know, we do more physical stuff. I think it's made me a much better player.
Jefferson is there to head it away. Might be anybody's. In the end, it's Brookings for Bonds. And he's in a bit of trouble too, being harassed there by Farley. Coleman now. Now look how Brookings got in behind these defenders once again. Was that handball? It was a penalty. Handball by Hibbett. And a penalty to West Ham. That ball came in. I don't think there was any doubt at all that Hibbett handled it. It was a question of whether it was an intentional handball, and the referee decided Hibbett that the ball should never have got that way in any case. And Billy Bonds now, with the penalty for West Ham against Phil Parks. An enormous goalkeeper who to Bonds must seem to fill that goal now. And Bonds has done it, 1-0 to West Ham. But now it'll be a breakout away in by Wolves, and it's Hibbett leading the way. Kindon on one side, Richards on the other. Here's John Richards. And Farley coming up fast with a good shot, which called for a good save and got it from Mervyn Day. Now it's Brooking. Nicely played by Robson for Padden. And look at that ball for Billy Bonds. That'll come for Lampard, and Robson is imploring him for it as well here on the touchline. Keith Robson. Crossed in towards Bobby Gould. Now it'll come for Brooking. And a goal by Trevor Brooking. 2-0 to West Ham. Underneath the goalkeeper. Brooking. Lampard. And that's a free kick to West Ham. Now, it was from a similar position, just outside the area, that Padden scored that superb free kick a fortnight ago. Well, if that Wolves wall leaves a gap in the way that Middlesbrough did, Graham Padden might just be the man to pierce it, although it looks as though Brooking might play a short one instead. Bonds and Lampard are men who are wide of him. He's looked round to see whether Lampard can do it, yes! Lampard! A lovely goal! And Richards, and then Locke, and now Padden. Off the boil just for the moment, West Ham, but now can Brooking revive them. That looked like handball, a good decision by the referee. Brooking with a shot, a superb chance, a goal by Billy Jennings, and West Ham are 4-1 ahead. Padden now for Brooking. Goal in a lot of space over on this right touchline. Bonds coming in well to join up with the attack. Still with Billy Bonds, and now with Trevor Brooking. He tried to dash it through, Bobby Gould! Yes! Number 5, Bobby Gould against his own club. And a fella who worked so hard that you really can't deny him the goal he scored.
A lot of people went away from West Ham yesterday still talking about that Frank Lampard free kick, and we got a lovely shot which we'll show you in a moment from behind the other goal where you teed it up. Tell us about what was the thinking behind that free kick.
Well, really, Bill, Billy Bonds, Graham Padden and Frank have all had success from free kicks, and really, to tell you the truth, I wasn't too sure at the time who to give it to, and I was just standing on the ball, and Frank just happened to say, flick one up for me, Joe, and so that's how it worked, really, and of course Frank just hit it on the half volley perfectly.
Well, here's this lovely picture from behind the other goal. Flick it up to me, he said. What about that, Trevor?
Just catches it on the half volley. It starts just wide of the post actually and just swerves in, and really the keeper was never going to get there. Great goal.
And in fact you very nearly scored another one, and I think tribute to the referee here, played the advantage rule to perfection, didn't he? And had a very good game all the way through.
Through the middle.
Because the handball comes up here, there's you on the ball there.
Trying to sweep it out to the right wing actually, and
but he said play on.
It just runs nicely into my stride. Just caught that one okay, and keeper parries it, and Bill Jennings comes sneaking in and tucks it away nicely.
He looks very pleased at scoring that.
Yes, I think he'd gone 3 or 4 games now. He had a few near misses, and I think he was pleased to get one in the back of the net.
Jennings. Gould turning it back for him, and Jennings goes on. Robson, 1-0. This is Jennings. takes the return. It wasn't a very good one from Gould, but Hughes had slipped, and the shot only half turned out by Clements, and Robson scored well.
Last Saturday, where's him Liverpool? Last Saturday when West Ham played Liverpool, see when we beat them down at West Ham. Old Shankly, he's yelling out to his team. They couldn't understand a word he was saying because he's talking to garlic most of the time. We beat them, mate, down at West Ham.
And now, Harris is there again. That's Holland. That's a goal. Oh, it looks so simple, didn't it? So substitute, Johnny Harris is the man who lays it on for Pat Holland, coming into the side as one of the many replacements West Ham have got here today, and West Ham are 1-0 up. Lampard. Holland, little touch off for Brooking. Took him a little further to the right than he wanted, but Holland with the header! Oh, a great goal by Pat Holland! Brooking again for West Ham, attacking Gillard with Jennings outside him, and that worked well for West Ham. A floated across there towards Keith Robson. Yes! West Ham in the lead. So West Ham are in all sorts of trouble, and Best might lose it now. He's played it back to Day, and Day hasn't even got it yet. But that time the foot was up by Eastoe on the West Ham goalkeeper Mervyn Day. And so it's a free kick to West Ham, and that's just about the biggest scare they've had. Header, and a good one, straight to Trevor Brooking, flipped on this time for Billy Jennings. Yes! Billy Jennings has done it. The breakthrough for West Ham at long last, and the relief is there for all to see around Upton Park. Stopped the West Ham attack developing. Lampard now to Brooking. Played on beautifully by Brooking for Pat. There's the shot, and there's the goal by Billy Jennings in his comeback game. Robson taken neatly there on his chest. A yard or two ahead of him. Going past one rather half-hearted challenge after another. And a free kick. No, a penalty. A penalty there as Robson was brought down, and referee Peter Willis deliberated for some time, and he's going to be booked, McClintock. He's going to be booked for showing dissent, and the referee deliberated. He went right across there to make sure that that infringement occurred inside the penalty area. He decided that it was inside the area, drying the ball on his shirt, and knowing now he'll have made up his mind where he's got to put it against the massive frame of Phil Parks. Some 6'2", 6'3" of him, a man who's played for England. Billy Bonds, the man with the skipper's responsibility for West Ham. Oh, in off the post! But still 0-0, and maybe it'll be West Ham who do the taking as Holland takes it up now, down the left for them. Billy Jennings screaming for the ball, hitting it first time. Miller gets it. Taylor turns it back. Yes, Alan Taylor. Holland. Oh, what a good ball by Holland there for Padden, and hit well by Padden, number 2. And he's done it again. Alan Taylor.
Well, that's how West Ham did it. And amongst our guests today, we've got the young man in the final analysis who did it for them, Alan Taylor. That's got to be a dream come true, really, yesterday, hasn't it?
Yes, it's something special in my life.
Because you started the season in the 4th Division with Rochdale.
Yeah.
And what sort of crowds were you playing in front of there?
Well, on a league day, I would say at the most about 1,700.
1,700?
Yeah.
Did yesterday affect your nerves at all?
I think when I first went out to have a look at the pitch, when we went to the West Ham end and all the crowd, it got me a bit then, but I calmed down as we went out.
Everybody in the Rangers half of the field now, except Mervyn Day. And here's Trevor Brooking. West Ham with less than 10 minutes to draw level. Billy Jennings on the far side. Yes! Thomas letting it run. But finding Robson at him. Still Dave Thomas. Masson is up there. Givens is up. Hollins is coming up. There's Givens. Hollins. Crossed in again towards Don Masson. Here's Stan Bowles. Now, is that for Bowles? No, it's not, because Day was out at him like a tiger. And Locke was right in there too. Here's Taylor. Now Lampard. Billy Bonds again. Good cross by Bonds. Brooking trying to hit it in there again. And Taylor! Tommy Taylor puts West Ham 1-0 ahead with 18 minutes to go. Brooking will curl another in-swinger. A little chip there towards the near post, in fact. It'll come to him again, with time this time to measure up the cross. A deeper one. Towards Clyde Best. In with the header. And into the goal. Clyde Best is the scorer. A fairly scruffy goal, but one that counts just the same. A little bit there by Coppell's pace, but then very skillfully finding Mervyn Day. Tremendous kick that Day has got, and Taylor is after it, and he might get there. Yes, Alan Taylor, and they were caught out, absolutely wide open. The simplest goal you can imagine, the most elementary mistake you can imagine, and it puts West Ham 1-0 in the lead. And the white shirts are in there in force now. 2, 4, 6, 7 of them inside that West Ham penalty area. As the free kick comes over, Houston is there with a header. Oh, and it's there! Scored by Macari. Now Patton for West Ham. There's the cross coming in. And Gould! Yes! Bobby Gould! 2-1.
I've been out the side for a long time. I've worked very hard while I've been injured. And to score a goal against Manchester United, well, I enjoyed it, and I hope everybody else did anyway.
Robson. West Ham's throw. Kevin Locke to Keith Robson. Locke again. Hit in first time and hit in well. Billy Jennings right in there. Taylor there. Goal given. Offside. Is it offside? No, it's a goal. Tommy Taylor's come up to the edge of the box as well. Played short this time for Lampard, getting a different angle on it. Curled in first time there, and Alan Bloor missed kicking. Tommy Taylor can play it back to Keith Coleman. Changed his mind very effectively there. Now he's got the angle for a cross for Keith Robson to chase, and Billy Jennings to head, and a goal! Crossed in again deep towards Keith Robson on the far side, and Jennings is there again! Holland. Alan Taylor. Oh, look at Coleman's run here. Nice chip, Clinton. Billy Jennings, a hat-trick!
come Padden. Alan Taylor on the far side. Padden wanting it back again. Oh, that's a good shot! And number 4 for Jennings. No, the whistle's gone. The flag was up, the whistle had gone. Armstrong. Hudson. Brady. Well, the ball going straight to Alan Taylor. He's found Radford. In turn, looking for Billy Jennings. Donald right back there. Brooking playing it on. A good ball played there for Alan Taylor. This will be the equaliser, and it is by Alan Taylor. 1-1. Another free kick to West Ham. Brooking and Bonds behind it. I think it'll be Brooking, indeed it is. One of those curling, tantalising crosses. Radford up well, and Jennings up and a goal! West Ham in the lead. Taylor. Nice turn. The pass to Jennings. The touch for Brooking. Tulakowski has come up quickly on this side. Here he is. Lampard's gone up as well to join him. That's the ball aimed for Frank Lampard. Armstrong shrugged off that ball by Lampard. Good cross! Oh, and a brilliant goal! A brilliant West Ham goal by Alan Taylor. 3-2 into the lead. It seemed to me that you were more tigerish than I'd seen you for a long time in midfield yesterday. You were really not exactly getting stuck in, but you were terribly involved. Was that?
Well, I think possibly that was a criticism of my play the last 18 months ago, 2 years.
Everybody used to say the elegant Trevor Brooking.
That's right. And I think I used to be tackled but never tackled back. Yeah. So I think that's something I've tried to work on in training the last season or two. And touch wood, it's rubbing off a little bit.
Yes. Another good cross by him. And a penalty given. Well, Radford bundled in the back there. The long cross that came over from Trevor Brooking. Radford bundled to the ground, and the referee, without hesitation, pointing to the penalty spot. And it looks as though it's going to be Brian Robson. One penalty success for him so far this season, and what an important kick for him now against David Lawson. So Robson, the man with the heavy responsibility, here he goes, and he's got it. 1-1. Now here is Tommy Taylor. You saw the message yourself a bit earlier by John Lyle saying get forward. Robson turning it on now for Jennings. Crossed in again there for Robson! 2-2! I think most West Ham fans would accept, Alan, that although it's been a disappointing season, you've been one of the good things in that season, the way you've played. You didn't really show an awful lot of pressure today.
No, you know, like the players have been tremendously, you know, towards me all the time since I've been here, and the crowd have been great as well. You know, they're always helping me all the time, and I don't really feel any pressure, you know. But now I feel I'm just about probably now that it's starting to come that we really are struggling. You know, that we're feeling it a little bit now.
Really got the meaning of Garling, who's suffering from lack of really good support. Brooking to Devonshire. Got hit with the outside of his foot, swerving in towards Devonshire. Devonshire, great shot. That really was a beauty.
Irvin Day with a very sharp haircut. Devonshire's header. Radford shielding it nicely for Brooking. On again for Devonshire. McFarlane's after him. Devonshire's got the cross in. And it's a goal there by Pike. Inside the first 2 minutes. Billy Bonds getting in there. Robson touching it down again for Radford. Robson turning it off this time for Brooking. Shot charged down by Ron Webster. Here's Devonshire again. Derby have pulled a lot back now. Bonds turning it in once more. Robson right in there. Billy Jennings is there, and Jennings has equalised. 2-2.
to McLean. Well, that was telegraphed and well read by Jennings. Up comes Tommy Taylor. West Ham move forward, albeit rather laboriously. Field for offside, not given. So it's Robson. Snaps up the rebound. Jennings, oh, took it down beautifully and scored well. Obviously the man who intercepted could have been a very good pass. Obviously to Robson. Holland is onside. Oh, Jennings, it must be an equaliser. Yes, it is, by Alan Taylor. 4 minutes of the second half gone. Kerbishley. And a foul by Kennedy on Kerbishley. And Kennedy is going to be booked for that. Yes, the card has come out. And Lampard is appealing to the referee not to. And the referee is going to do it. He's already had the yellow card out. The notebook is there. So that's the second name in the referee's book. First was Tommy Taylor of West Ham, now Alan Kennedy of Newcastle United. Tell you what, if they put their sub on Otolowski, that'll fox the referee if he takes his name. Lampard is a goal, Robson! And it's a goal. That lovely free kick by Lampard, putting it across and nobody moved. But Bob Robson, who came through like a bullet.
I'm sure West Ham manager John Lyall is a lot happier than he looks at this moment watching that again. But it was a tremendous performance yesterday to come back in the way that you did. You must have felt, though, that you were dead when Tommy Cassidy's second goal went in for Newcastle.
Well, Brian, we'd had preparation wasn't ideal with a number of first-team players missing. And I must admit at that time I felt that we would have a great job getting anything out of the game, but I think that was a nice factor of it for me. The young players and the senior players got together, they kept playing their football, showed a lot of guts and showed a lot of character, forced their way back into the game, and possibly the thing that pleased me most was not just that we got 3 goals, there were the goals, the involvement of individuals and the collective effort of the team to get the goals, and I thought they were extremely good goals for us to get.
I suppose one of the virtues, in fact, of having so many players injured, you do get an idea of just how strong your whole squad is, because you having to throw people in that you wouldn't normally throw in.
Well, last year we put lads like Devonshire, Pike, Kerbishley was a little unfortunate with injuries, but he's now in the side. Young lad Brush has come in, so now we've developed 4 more players for the squad, and of course when we get all the other lads back we'll have a hell of a battle for places, which in itself is a good thing for a club. I think without competition you're not going to have a good side. To be a great club, i.e. Liverpool, to have that you've got to have quality players, probably 18 of them, to be successful.
Waiting for Devonshire to join in from the right. Fortunate to get a second chance at that. Devonshire has run himself into a difficult position, so Lampard now. Brooking. It's Pike. Oh, it's an awkward one, and it could still be trouble, and it's a goal. Tremendous backspin. 1-0. Jeff Pike, his second goal of the season. Daly stuck to his job well. It was Devonshire on for Robson. Pike skates away from Palmer. Good cross. Brooking. Miss. Robson. Goal. 2-0 West Ham. 36 minutes of this first half gone.
Out there is Hales with a lot of room. Back for Pike. Robson and Radford are in the middle. There goes Radford. And there's one. Hales has got it. Derek Hales right in there with his left foot, picking up the loose ends. Osborne square of him there, in for Gates. The control's got to be sharp and tight, otherwise the defender will have it, and he had it. Brooking through the middle for Hales, getting away from Hunter. Hales on the good left foot. Can he put it back? He's got Radford in the middle there. Beats Cooper again. And Pike, and Ipswich are back. Brooking, and the whistle has gone for a foul by Ipswich. What an extraordinary incident that was, as Brooking put Hales away. He seemed to have got the opening, but because the goalkeeper chased him wide, he was so wide he had to come back and have another go again. And then Pike couldn't do a thing with it. Taylor's up there for the kick. There goes Hunter up. Radford's with him. Here's Pike. Hit it well! Beautifully off the line by Gates. Wymart getting there with Brooking, but Brooking is there first. Hales gets a return from Radford. It's Hales on the good left foot. It's a cracker. Hales strikes again, right in front of the West Ham fans.
Devonshire again with the corner. A long one. Oh, and he's a half, and he got that away. And Brooking had another go. Claims for a handball there given. Penalty. John Weil furious with his goalkeeper Tony Gordon. And a handball there gives a penalty for West Ham. Brooking had a tremendous shot, and in the flurry that followed it, an Albion player handled it there. Robson to take it. Can Gordon keep him at bay? It's a goal, 1-0 to West Ham. Mike, Brooking. Hales is up and so is Robson. Oh, Brooking found Devonshire well. Oh, Devonshire with a chance of a shot, deflected in! Probably off Robertson, but I think Alan Devonshire will say that's my goal. So West Ham with another free kick. Tommy Taylor with it. And time beginning to become rather a precious commodity for West Ham. About 11 minutes left. Brooking, a beautiful touch for Pike. Now, will that come for Hales? Oh, and it's there! And it's Devonshire again. And they've pulled it back to 3-3. Tommy Taylor beating Roger Davis in the air. Here's Frank Lampard. Robson. Lampard. Kerbishley being harassed by Samuels. Here's Brooking again, looking to get it onto the right foot, measuring up that cross again towards David Cross. Got up there, hung in the air, but Webb beat him away, not far. Here's McDowell. Left foot shot, he goes! Goal! Oh, and what a goal by McDowell! Oh, my goodness! Well, what a great way to look into the new year! Hughes, Eddie Kelly, Tommy Williams, Hughes again, beaten by Brooking. Cross up, Hales up, Robson up, and Hales through there from that Brooking pass, and he always makes them count. 2-0, Derek Hales. Kelly. Nice little cross by him. Earl tried to reach it, couldn't though. It was Tommy Taylor who got it away as far as Brooking. Here come West Ham again. You get the feeling that West Ham really should have scored one or two more than they have done. They're 2-0 up. But Leicester look quite demoralised at the moment, and the chances are there that West Ham just at the moment aren't taken. Brooking, Kelly after him. Devonshire wide. That's a lovely cross there. Gets his first goal for West Ham. You don't have to look to see who made it. David Cross knows because he's got over there to say to Trevor Brooking, thank you for that. Well, is that going to be the start of a Leicester City comeback? Roger Davis hit that well. Oh, and that was a beautiful save. A little word of congratulations from Billy Hughes see. What a great save by Bobby Ferguson, because Roger Davies hit that superbly. It was going in just under the crossbar until up went the fist of Bobby Ferguson, and it was safe for West Ham.
Well, that was easy enough. It was straight at me and different a bit, so...
Why is it keepers always say that, don't they?
Well, the easiest ones.
Yeah? But why were you a bit that nervous before the start? I mean, is there such a big difference in playing in reserve football and coming out to do this?
Well, I've been playing reserve now for about three and a half years or something, and had 1-2 games, and yeah, it's just the whole atmosphere, the build-up from Friday onwards, and just that nibbles at your stomach and butterfly setting and the nerves creeping. I was nervous, no question, yeah.
With the free kick for West Ham. 28 minutes gone. Towards Derek Hales. Up he goes again, and Hollins won't reach touch. It'll get there, and Brooking now. Finding Lampard. And a throw again to West Ham. Bonds. Hit firmly again towards Cross on the far side. And Cross, oh my word, no, the whistle had gone. No goal. There was a foul on the keeper. He decided that was no penalty, no handball, and I think he was right. Now it's Bowles instead. And now it's Leighton James. Crossed in again, Busby. Oh, great save, but offside. There's a corner to be taken by Trevor Brooking. Dummy there. Oh, and a chance for Billy Bonds. And it's a goal by Billy Bonds. The second time he's found the net this season, Bonds. But Brooking's corner coming in there, and in fact was deflected, I think, which probably put QPR on the wrong foot in their own penalty area, and Bonds hit it off a player into the back of the net. So a free kick for West Ham. Frank Lampard with it. Curled in there. In fact, it's Dave Clement who gets it away. Kerbishley and Devonshire getting in each other's way. Still Kerbishley. There's a cross going in again towards David Cross. Nodded down again, and that's another one. That's disallowed. Disallowed. Hales finished it off, but it won't count.
Price losing out to Tommy Taylor. And now Brooking is away. Rice sticking with him. The chance for the cross. It's a useful looking one. Back in from David Cross. And West Ham get the goal they want. And it's Alan Taylor who gets it just 3 minutes into the second half. It was Brooking at the hub of the move. The cross initially coming off Willie Young, but David Cross got a touch at the far post to turn it back across the goal, and Alan Taylor got the finishing touch. And West Ham get a free kick. And Pat Rice isn't happy about it inside the final minute. The referee spotting a push, and really last chance for West Ham to salvage something from a game that so long seemed to have been beyond them. They're still not happy. Kerbishley will take the free kick. All the big men up for West Ham. And it comes towards one of them, David Cross. Oh, and he's made it! Cross saves West Ham from the very jaws of defeat. Really climbing at the far post and managing to get above Willie Young to direct the header across Pat Jennings.
Robson. Oh, good ball. Played for Kerbishley. Crosses up. Holland is on this right touchline. Lampard coming to support. Here's Pat Holland. Now, will he get past Buckley again? No, Buckley was equal to that one. A throw to West Ham. Former Luton fullback, Steve Buckley. Tommy Taylor with the throw. Trevor Brooking now. Crossed in, could be interesting towards David Cross, and fisted away by Middleton, not very far. Powell losing out on it. Claims for a handball there. They crossed it in, and it's there by Robson. A goal for West Ham. 4.5 minutes gone. Holland again. Buckley staying very close. And Holland, well, Rioch was there to support him, but West Ham getting possession. Robson for Brooking. Tommy Taylor scorching down that left flank. What a good run by Taylor, but the flag is up for offside. It will not count. Bill Green up well, Kerbishley helping it. Good piece of play, good teamwork again by West Ham. Lampard. Cross has found a yard or two beyond McFarland. Now can Holland get in there again? Played back for Cross. And a goal by David Cross. 2-0 for West Ham. 22 and a half minutes gone. Booking crashed through him there. Well, a little pass inside for Robson. Hit first time. Number 3. That might just about make it safe. Completely so for West Ham. Now Kerbishley. Now Brooking. Oh, lovely cross by Brooking. Here's Lampard. And it might come all the way for Lampard. Delighted West Ham. It's opened up things at the other end of the field. Who's done a good marking job on him since he took over from Cameron. But that's a cross that Brooking got in well towards David Cross, got it down, and it's going as far as Devonshire, and that's another goal. West Ham go back into the lead. Robson winning it now for Cross, and onside again as Robson comes into the box to David Cross, and that time it was stopped by the keeper. It's got to be this time, surely. Brooking, no, the whistle had gone. The whistle had gone. Devonshire bringing it away again, a change of direction. Brooking, what a ball for Holland, with Robson, Cross and Kerbishley waiting in the middle. Now can they finish this one off? Cross has done it. Now it's McDowell for West Ham. Now to go a long way. Can he do something with it? Well, here's Devonshire quickly on that one. Devonshire all the way through. And a goal. Beautifully placed. West Ham's goal with 20 minutes gone. A superb piece of cool thinking by Alan Devonshire. And the joy that says it all. Good break again by West Ham, and you fancy Steve Hardwick might be facing a busy afternoon. As it is at the moment, Brownlee bringing it forward for Newcastle. Cut out by Brush. Played on again by Robson for Brooking. Brooking playing it in for Robson. Oh my word, a beautiful goal. Robson against his old club, but a goal of classic proportions. Good skillful play that by West Ham. Nice simple passing, accurate as well. Brooking. It's a good cross too. Fisted away though. Lampard turning it back, deflected in. Lampard will claim it, number 3. And Hardwick, no chance at all with that. Brooking's cross coming in, and in fact the keeper fisting it away there, only as far as Lampard. And yes, quite a deflection, I think probably off Peter With. Brush with the header. Cross trying to get in there. Nicely touched by Cross there for Brooking. And Holland battling away there. Brooking with the header again. Skillfully played for Holland. Robson's right in there. Holland's going on. thought just a little wider than he wanted to go. Rush coming up in support of him. And McDowell in there! Number 4! Well, the goals are here for the taking this afternoon. And McDowell took that one superbly to the delight of the young West Ham fans. In fact, Holland had been pushed a little wider than I thought he wanted to be. But just look how unmarked McDowell as he comes in, and his aim was sure just inside the post. Mind you, with due deference to the likes of Alan Devonshire and Jeff Pike and so on, in midfielders, West Ham, John McDowell too, West Ham never really function quite so well when Brooking's not there. But they've got a free kick here. The news is that it apparently is just a strain that he's got. A free kick for West Ham. And Cross couldn't get there. Robson into the side netting. Pike getting in there, and Bird putting some of the West Ham patrons in danger with that hefty clearance into the stand. A throw for West Ham. Jeff Pike with it. Devonshire. Pike again. And that'll fall for McDowell. Hit well. Oh, a beautiful goal by
Redknapp, he's got Hurst on his left, he's got Moncur still to beat. He's beaten him, now the chance, and finished off beautifully by Jack Hurst. And it's allowed.
Redknapp. Across that goal, no. Can someone poke that? Robson! Yes! Ryan Robson has done it! Bonds tries to get it. There's a header there. Yes! The goal is given, and it goes to Pat Holland. Here's the cross again, but only Robson is in there. Nodded away for Billy Bonds.